Welcome to a Build a Week, series where I build once a week. Every month we will have a new theme and set of builds. This month theme is going to be fairies. Wait, don't click off. I know this theme is a bit cliche and girly or whatever, but I'm going to be going for more of a little people in the woods aesthetic than that frilly pink type of thing that little kids wear for Halloween. I have a few things planned, but my first build is going to be a mushroom house, which I'm sure you already saw in the thumbnail, but I'm going to show you how I built it step by step. Real quick, I just want to clarify that this is not a tutorial on how to build this exact house, but rather my thought process when building it. Hopefully you can take some tips out of the video, or maybe you have ideas on how I can improve, which I would love to see in the comments. Alright, hello, welcome to my super flat world. The last thing you saw was me getting the terrain ready in the actual dark oak forest where I'm going to be putting everything. I think I might build on the super flat world and then paste it in over there so that it's easier to see over here. Step one is going to be figuring out our color palette. I'm going for a mushroom house, so I think we need some whites and some red for the roof. The first color we're probably going to need is for like the house. We need some whites. The main body of the house, like a stem almost. So let's grab some whites. I'm thinking we should do some more grays, because if you look at pictures of mushrooms in real life, they're often gray, and if you get a mushroom stem in Minecraft, it's also a little bit gray as well. See, it's gray, kind of yellowish almost. So I think that white concrete's pretty gray. One here. Then let's do some diorite and calcite maybe. We're probably mainly going to be building out of, I like the calcite, maybe for some accents, some like lighter stuff with wool, and then diorite for shadows. Sounds good to me. So these are going to be our three main colors, I think, but I can always change it later. I just think it's good to figure out what kind of we want. Next up, we need to do the roof. So let's pick some red blocks. Oh, I forgot about pale oak is a little bit too pink, I think, but I always think that pale oak is too pink to be white. Like if you look at it here, see how it's so much more than the wool block. I do kind of like the darker, like these two, because I think that they will fit a little bit better in the dark forest, but it would be good to have some highlights as well. I think that to go with a darker theme rather than the really bright theme, we're gonna use these two. And how about the wool for, ooh, that's a lot bright. I like the concrete as maybe like an accent, like a really bright block, but I think that we're gonna mainly use these two, and then these other ones can be used as highlights in certain spots. And then for the dots, I think we should use pale oak for the dots because it's a little bit more pink, and it should work better as in between all the red bits than like bright white would, because I think the bright white would look too like the house itself. Let's go back to the other world and figure out what the shape of the house is going to be. Alright, welcome back. So you might notice this white wool. This is where we're going to be putting stuff. So this is going to be the main path through town, and I think we should put something big in the center here. And I was thinking we could do something with the water over in that corner. We're going to have a house here, a house here, and a house here. The house that I'm going to be building today is going to be this one. So let's see what could work here. I'm gonna use wool to frame out the like shaping for now. I want to go for a circular shape, and I don't really want it to be too big. That way we'll have this much space inside, and then we'll have like a mushroom cap as well. All right, let's hop back into creative mode and try and plan this out. All right, welcome back. I think we're gonna do the frame out of wool right now. We'll texture it later. Let's just make it a little taller first. Okay, so next I'm gonna grab mangrove, and I'm going to work out kind of the shape of the dome, like the roof. Let's start by making like a circle around it. Maybe I know how to do domes too well, so okay, so that looks too big. So I think what I'm gonna do is just move it in one. I just looked at some of my reference photos, and a lot of people like narrowed down the top a little bit to give it a little bit more of a curved shape. It looks very stout. With these kinds of things, when you don't really know a lot about the shape that you're trying to get, you're just kind of trying to figure it out for now, it's best to just keep experimenting with things and see what works and what doesn't work. Right now I'm kind of just throwing things off the wall. I have a lot of pictures and stuff from Pinterest and online and wherever else that I am using to look at shapes and all that sort of thing. So in reality, the first step is always getting references. Alright, that looks right enough for now. I'm gonna get back to it because I got a little bit distracted. I'm gonna do a simple kind of dome first, and then we can go back and change the shaping later if we want to. That's a little dome, but that's not really a good dome. Alrighty then. After a lot more massaging with some trapdoors and slabs, I'm pretty happy with this shape. So even though I'm pretty happy with the shape, I'm actually going to copy this and move it over there so that I can try a little bit of something different. I think that the corners look a little bit odd as a mushroom like this, so I'm going to try and round it the other way and see how that looks. And just copy paste using World Edit. Okay, I usually like to copy and paste stuff when I want to try something new, but I like what I have, because that way you can come back to it pretty easily if you want to, if you decide that you like what you had before better than what you have right now. So what I'm trying here is round it down this way instead. So it doesn't look bad, but I definitely think this one looks better. I think I could maybe make this one look better with some work, but I think I'm gonna go with this design for now, even though it's a little bit odd. Especially because with these being full blocks, I'm having little lanterns. Yes? Okay, so what I'm gonna work on next, I'm gonna break these a little bit better. I'm going to work on the shaping. I'm gonna try raising this up a little. Just go up a few blocks. East, I guess? Okay. And then let's just break these. There's nothing wrong with like a really stout mushroom, but I do like the skinnier look. That's too barely. I wonder if I could like move this part in more, like to here. Might look a little bit better just up at the top so it doesn't look quite so. Please forget that I don't actually have to go all the way around these. Especially if I end up not using this. It would probably be better to just only do part of it for now. Just the front bit that I would see. But I've already done most of it, so I'm gonna finish it now. Oh, this is the last line. I kinda liked how it was a little lopsided there for a second, like that. Ooh, we can have like... I do like that it's not like quite thin. I could maybe make it work. Especially if this would curve over a little bit. It is very whimsical. Perfect for fairies. Ooh, that's kind of cute. Maybe down like one more layer. Yeah, that's actually really cute. I like this. I like how it's a little bit like less straight up and even. Cool. Let's use some stairs and slabs. I'm gonna use pale oak for now, and I might replace it in a couple. As you can see, it does not look great from other sides right now. This side not great, and this side's not either. But let's just work on the front for now, and then I'll go back around to the sides. I actually really like that. And then our doorway, because this is a house after all. We need to think about that. Let's just go here. And then I can put the door on the floor right now. Could probably move it back down. Okay. And I can have it like there. So we will see, but that would be where the doors go. I like that. Even extend this up one. Yeah? Pretty happy with that. Yeah, that's even better. Okay, cool. We do also have shelves. I might try shelves there as well to work, but I don't like how they like the edges. This one has that same effect, but it's just because of the gray line right here. Let me just show you. Yeah, I don't like on shelves how much shape it is. Like, it's straight up just a C, and then this one's... It has the same effect, but it's much more subtle. Versus this one is, like, noticeably adding to the shape. Which can look good. I just don't think it looks good in this. So we're gonna... Okay, moving on to this side. Let's do the back first. I mean, that's not bad already. Pretty good. And I think the back's like into a wall right now, so I don't need to worry too much about it. I want it to look good just for right now for building. But honestly, I don't need to worry too much about it. And then this side, it looks alright. It's a bit stout, but no problem with that. We're pretty much good. Okay. We've got our curvy mushroom. It looks pretty good. Might tweak it more later, but for now, I think we've got our basic shape down. These are the two sides I don't need to worry too much about. And then this is what we should be seeing from the path, so I'll probably put like a window here. The perfect spot for a window, actually. I wonder if it would look better if I'm gonna try something real quick. Let me paste it again. Okay, I'm gonna try something on here. Yeah. It looks kind of dumb. I think it's just because this side is too thick now. Whereas like all of these ones are kind of smaller bits. There is a little bit of an issue though with this shape, and that is this is going to be really hard to do anything with. On the one hand, we do have kind of space for 2 stories with this. We can have one like here and then one here. That. However, there's really not a lot of space anywhere in here. So I think for the inside problem, the shaping problem, I think I might just change a little bit about the outside so that it works a little bit better. Which sucks because I do really like this, but let's just see what we can do. It looks pretty good. And it still has that shape that I like without, you know, like taking away all of the inside space. I can take away this, and then this way I can probably put the floor about here. We won't be using this wood for that though. And then I would probably just fill this in. And we've got a nice little house. And then we'll probably just use a ladder. My next step is going to be texturing. So I think we're going to try and texture like this white bit first. And then we'll move on to the mushroom cap. Alright, I have all of the white blocks that we got earlier. Let me just put them out right here. And I also grabbed concrete powder. Just in case. It might be a good texture as well. I'm gonna also add quartz and birch logs because they have these black bits like that. Okay, so step 1, I'm gonna just replace some of these up here. I think it'll help blend that red into the white. Yeah, I think that looks good. It kind of looks like there's a shadow with the red. Okay, and we're gonna have maybe some quartz down here. I don't hate it. It's very yellowy, but I feel like that looks right because it's natural. Like that, maybe? Definitely looks better than that. I also kind of want to try concrete because there's a little bit of that grayish tone. Hue, whatever you want to call it. Try that instead of the wool for a second. Okay, so that's a lot darker. Oh, concrete powder? That's too light, I think. Maybe calcite? Yeah, I do think wool is just the right in between. I'm pretty happy with this. I like it. Alright, the next texture thing is a little bit unrelated, but I want to try and add pale oak on the inside because of those, like, what are they called? Hold on. Looked it up. Apparently they're called gills, but they go like here. And I was thinking that I could just go ahead and put them in. I think the thing I've learned the most with this project so far is just how helpful it is to copy and paste, because it makes it easier to change big things about your build without having to worry about like completely messing it up and not being able to fix it. Alright, it's fully ribbed, I guess. So like that. I don't hate it, but I also don't love it. It doesn't take away from the old one. It kind of just makes the inside feel thicker, which I don't think is a bad thing per se. I feel like the wool isn't the best choice in between this, and the quartz block. I almost feel like this should just go and this should just be the gradient. But I do kind of want a third color in between. So let's see if we can find one that works. Could also... No, that's not good. I could see like birch working there because this is a very yellow block. Well, not really. Maybe like bone. I don't like bone though because it has that dumb like lines and stuff. I think what I need is also like a little bit pink almost. Oh, don't hate it. Let's try that. I really think the quartz and the wool clash a little too much, and then the wool is like not in between the colors that I need it to be in between. So let's just try this. I've gotten so much better at typing the word paste today. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, let's try this. Here. Oh yeah, that looks so much better. Yeah, I like that. That's better. I like that it also has like a very like, well, I mean, it is logs, so it makes sense, but it has a very like alive, planty look, which works for the fungi. Alright. I'm good with that. I actually do really like this. This is coming out pretty well. I think, though, that like these bits could come out a little bit more. So we're pretty happy with this for now. I'm actually gonna go because I have to do something now, but we'll come back and see how we feel about it later. A lot of the time when you build something, you come back or you take a break, and while you're taking a break, you think of something that you think could make it better. So for instance, when I made this first thing here, I went to bed that night and I was like, mushrooms aren't squares. And it bothered me all night, and I was trying to figure out how I could fix that. And I still really like the shape, I just don't think it looks like a mushroom as much. I don't really want to do full blocked off, but I kind of like the slabs. It almost fits that it would be a little bit, it'd feel a little bit tiny in here because it is like a fairy house. I think I'll stick with this level though, just because that way you won't have to see this as the floor up here. And this window will work a little bit better. Alrighty then. Well, like I said, I gotta go for now, and then I will be back later. Maybe I'll have thought of some new ideas by then. And the next thing we're gonna do is probably do this cap, because it needs some, well, it needs some spots. I have a couple of ideas for that. I was thinking I could use buttons, because I was looking at photos of the actual mushrooms, and they usually look more like this. But I do really like the big spots as well, so we'll try a couple different things and settle on whatever we think works best. And I'll probably be doing them out of this payload because it is a little bit more pink, and I think that'll look better with the red. Alright, let's get to work on this cap. Alright, so step one is I'm going to make a copy of this, of what we have so far. And we're actually going to try two different things. So the first one that we're going to try is buttons. I'm going to put buttons all over this. I do like it, but let's try the other thing before we make any decisions. So I'm going to use this primarily, pale oak logs for the dots, and let's just choose a few spots for dots. So let's put one here, and here, and one on the side here. Let's try just replacing some random blocks with these. Okay, so there's one spot. I think we're gonna want one like here as well. Okay, let's do this one next. Let's keep this one a little bit higher up so that we don't have a ton of like uniformity. Uniformity? Is that a word? I don't know. It is now. Let's keep it up here a little bit more, just so that we... little variation is the word that I'm looking for, I think. I like that this one's a little bit bigger than this one, I think. This one's good. Let's do the one here. Try to take it more this way this time. Oops. Okay, so these two are too similar. So I think what I'm gonna do is bring it down a little bit more. Let's try that. So like just get rid of these ones, turn these red again, and then just bring it down this way. Okay. And then let's do the one up here. And I want to take this one up more, so like much more up here. I think that replacing all of these is going to be too much, so let's just... Not really. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about this. Here's my one with spots, and I can go back and redo it if I don't really like the shape. In fact, I'm just gonna do that, I think. And I can keep working on this. Or we can do the buttons. I do like the buttons. I think they're really cute, and they look just like the actual, like, plants. They're called fly agarics. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but that's what it looks like. So that looks more like those if we were going for realism, or we can go with the big spots. I would maybe go a little bit smaller than these and a little bit bigger than these. I kind of want like an in-between. So let's just grab this one And then we can keep working on the shape a little bit. I do kind of like the way that the bigger spots look, especially in reference photos and stuff. So I do kind of want to make those work, but the dots also do definitely work. Because with this one, there's also like a lot of white, especially since I've done this inside. Let's try making the dots a little bit smaller and see how that looks, and then we'll come back to it. Maybe dots could be more like this size. That's pretty good. Okay, so if they're going to be smaller, then I want a dot here, somewhere up here. That looks pretty good. I like that. I have another idea. I'm gonna try doing little dots like that, but just with one block of white. Alright, here. And then here. And then this side. Decently happy with all of them. I don't love the ones where they're half slabs or they line up too much. Or they're trapdoors, because the small ones just don't look as good, I think. But I think that's okay. Okay, let's get doors. I feel like that should be next. What color of door shall we do? I kind of want to not do red, which would be the obvious choice, I think. I almost am leaning towards, like, oxidized, or copper, because it's a similar-ish color. I think I like the natural look a little bit better. Maybe some spruce? Spruce is generally a good color with white. I think with some framing that could work. I could also go for... We could try red. Pink might look good. Maybe crimson, because it'll be in between a little bit more. And acacia could look good. Let's try some of these. I don't like the slats and acacia doors for this. They don't quite fit the vibe. What about these? These are made from mushrooms. Not bad. I think it's too close to the red to really, work, though. Cherry doors. Those are pretty cute. Not bad. I kind of want it to either stand out or match. So here's red. No, I think it blends in too much. I think I do like the, I like the copper door. I just didn't like the vibe of the copper door as much. Let's try dark oak. Dark. Ooh, I do like the dark oak. And let's try this. Because I think that the waxed exposed color is like brown with a little bit of green. Ooh, that actually works really well. I think I'm gonna go with this one. So we can say that these fairies that live out in the woods maybe steal stuff or find trash from humans. Ooh, I like that. They pick up stuff that humans discard and use it in their own homes, such as, like, these doors. Now, our next step is gonna be interior. So, I'm actually going to move this onto the other world, just to make sure everything fits right before we try that. I will see you when we get to the other world. Well, now that I have it in, we have the next part of the build, which is the interior. And I'm gonna put like a window here. And I was thinking I could put a window here, but there's not really anything to look at. So maybe I'll plant some flowers or something, but yeah. Alright, so step one, I carved out this window right here, which looks like this from the outside for now. I'll make it look better in the future, I promise. And then this window, which doesn't look out, which doesn't look out to a lot, but it provides natural lighting, and I can plant flowers or something back here, so there's something to look at. And it looks fine from outside, too, so that's good. And, yeah. So, we're gonna put our floor at this level. This isn't the final color, I'm just using this as an example. Let's use pink. It's bright against the white. So this is going to be our floor level. The window is at feet height, which is annoying because I don't love that. But I think that's alright for this one time. I think I can make it work. I can also do like bottom slabs here instead, so it doesn't look like that. But then it's hard to place stuff on. I can also do slabs like this, which don't look bad. They don't look great here with the window. I think either way something has to be sacrificed. I think this is going to be the best bet, because that way it doesn't feel too cramped in here. And then we're gonna have a window. We're gonna have a ladder to get up. I think it kind of has to go here, or I could put it. I don't want to put it too close to the door unless it's gonna be like around a corner or something. So I think this is the best spot for it. That is gonna be our like floor plan. I'm probably gonna do like a bedroom of some sort in here, and I was thinking I can use this as a shelf. I think will be cute. And down here, I think I'm gonna do like a bookshelf, or chests or storage of some sort in here, and maybe like a little seating area, and that'll be it. Because there's not a ton of space, but I think it's enough. to get something small and cute in here. I actually do think birch might be the right option for the floor in here. Might even work better is mangrove because it is not matching with the door. It's not going to match the roof because up here we already have that red. And I like to use the rule of 3 different colors, so I want a color for the wall, a color for the floor, and a color for the ceiling as much as I can because I just think it looks better. It's a little bit much, but I think that it'll look better as we go. And I can also change to wood. I can even do a checkerboard down here. Like that. Add a little texture. I like that. That's good. Okay. And then up here, I actually like the birch for up here. Like that. Maybe not. I don't love the color with the whites because the whites are not like actually fully white too. So maybe not birch. Maybe not even a wood type. We've got a lot of woods up here already. What about maybe some copper? Like that. Matches with the door. Okay, I can't replace those, but I can replace all these. Yeah, I mean, that's not bad. I kind of like that. It's matches with this, but it's not the same color. Let's start down here. Because it's a small space, I'm not going to be able to fit a ton of things in. Let's do like a table. I think that'll look cute. I think furniture needs to be a really dark color. So let's go with dark oak. Do like this kind of table. And then I can get out some stairs. I'll take the pink chairs. Let's actually choose 2 different colors for these so they're kind of mismatched. I want them to look good together. How about the blue? That works. If I put this here, you can't see that, but you can open a chest that's here. That works. There's lines through it, but that's okay. Let's try and put like bookshelves here. And we can put another chest here maybe. Like that. I think that's cute, and it fits well in that little space. Alright, what's next? We could put, I think a painting would work here. So I have a Vanilla Tweaks resource pack that separates all these so I can pick exactly which painting I want. I think we need a 1x1. I think the rose one is probably the best one. Oh, maybe we don't need a 1x1. Maybe just, that's really annoying. Maybe a maybe, I'll put it back in a minute. Maybe a 1x2, like that. Let's try that. How about the snails? Those are cute. I like the snails. I think they're snails. I've always thought they were snails. Honestly, these things could be anything. You see a snail here? Like, that's the shell, and then this is that's its eyeball, and that's its slime and everything. I think it's snails. Wait, now I need to know. I'm Googling it. Yeah, that's definitely not what I thought it was. Definitely not snails. I usually prefer glass panes to full glass blocks. But I guess they both have their time. And I do have a connected textures mod because I hate the vanilla texture. I think it just looks dumb, honestly. The grid in the glass just, I don't like it. So I have a mod, it's called the continuity mod. It's this one. Yeah, if you guys are interested in the future, I can put a full list of all the mods in resource packs that I use. Alright, let's do upstairs. I keep saying you guys, but there's probably like 1 person total watching this. Hello, 1 person. Alright, so I'd imagine this is gonna be a bedroom. We don't have a ton of space. Let's pick a color. How about pink? I like pink works. I think they're gonna have a little trapdoor, and we're gonna make it fully unoxidized. The bed, and then how about a bookcase? Like that. Put the lantern there. So it's like a little bedside table. They could set stuff up there. And then we'll put little things, and then we'll have glass right here. Let's put this here. We're gonna have 2 lanterns, which should be plenty of light. Hello! My audio from yesterday kind of sounded a little bit crunchy, so just letting you know. I'm really sorry about all the audio things. I will be doing my best to get them fixed as soon as possible, but I don't know a ton about OBS, and that's the recording system I'm using right now, so if anyone knows anything, or knows anyone who made really helpful tutorials, let me know down in the comments. So, thank you, and let's get back into it. Alright, I kind of want to change the table design. I was thinking we could try scaffolding here. I think it's kind of cute. So I have a data pack on from Vanilla Tweaks that allows me to make mini blocks. So I'm going to try something real quick. Ooh. Okay, these are really cute. Wait. I can put it right there. I can also get my head, which means I can get little custom blocks. I can maybe put something on this table. What would would go well on here. Wait, I'm gonna put this in the bedroom actually, up here. I'm gonna use the mini blocks, I think, to decorate up here. Because I can put little items and stuff up here. This can be like a little shelf. I do kind of like just the lantern there. I do want to put something on the table. Maybe a lantern would be good because I don't think there's any lighting down here otherwise. I do like a mini mushroom block. Aw, this one's broken. You know, I don't know why, but a lot of mine just break. Some of the mini blocks work and some of them just don't. It's the same with like mob heads because I also have the mob heads pack. Well, the mob heads turn into Eve. Let's see if I can fix that. Hold on. It looks like it's... Oops. It looks like it's working. It like flashes to Alex for a second when I put a new one in, but then it fixes itself. So, I mean, we'll see. Alright, everything seems to be working. Oh, I was trying mushroom. Wait, I want to try that. What I did to fix it was I deleted the skins pack. I think it must have been... If you go into your .minecraft file and then go into assets, I just deleted the skins folder and forced it to re-download. Seems to have worked. I guess it must have been corrupt or something, which I don't know how it would have gotten that way, but because I've had this issue in the past as well, so I'll let you know if it breaks again, I guess. Alright, let's get back to work then, now that I've figured out the issue. I'm gonna put a stone cutter right here in the corner for right now. This would be very dangerous to have in your bedroom. Alright, what kinds of things do we want to put in here? Maybe like a barrel? I like that faces up, it looks like a little cup. I think it'd be cute to have the mushroom blocks in here. Oh, do we not have brown? Only got the red mushroom. Ooh, I want to put a painting. This is actually a good spot for a 1x1 painting. Let's see. I do like the little rose one. Let's do the rose. This one? Meditative. This one's definitely a rose for sure. What else could go back here? Ooh, can I do frog light? These would be so cute. Oh! Okay. Got a lot of mini blocks now. What else could we put in here? Ooh, flowers. Flowers would be good. Where are flowers? In here? Got a lot of red in here. We got a lot of white. Ooh, we should do pink to match the other pink. That? I think a couple flowers would be good. Oh, bamboo. That's pretty cute. Okay. We got any other flowers that would be good? Ooh, it'd be kind of funny to have a mushroom. And if you wanted to get up here, you could climb on top of these. Let's get rid of this. I think I could put something in the corner here. I don't really know what, and so I think I'm just gonna leave it open, because that way you can, like, walk back here if you wanted to. Could put down a little bit of carpet. Some green might look nice in here. Like that, maybe. And we just leave the one open. That's cute. Well, that actually, I think, is the last thing that we would need to do in here. I could put down carpet in here or something, but doesn't really need it. Oh wait, I think I can do here, but I can do a doormat. Different color, though. We could do, like, red to match the... like this. Okay, I'm gonna move on and do a couple finishing touches, and then I think we're pretty much done. Alright, I'm done. I didn't really change a lot. I added some trapdoors inside, and these lanterns up here, which you can see in the corners just to add a little bit of light. I also did a little bit of terraforming down here. The terrain doesn't look super great, but at some point I might come back and redo it, so I'm not super worried about it for right now. Kind of, not too big. It doesn't take up a ton of space. It doesn't have a ton of space on the interior. If you were looking to use this as like a survival build, I'd probably put chests all in here. And this bookshelf would be a crafting table. And then upstairs we'd have probably more chests, crafting tables. It really wouldn't work that well as a survival base, but you know. So yeah, I'm actually really happy with this build. I think it turned out really great. I love the outside especially. I'm not too happy with this bit, but I don't really know how to fix it, and I don't want to keep working on it forever, so I think at some point I just need to say that I'm done, and now is that point. Yeah, overall, I'm pretty proud of it. There are definitely some things that could be changed, but I'm gonna be done working on it for now. In the end, I think I did a great job of doing Mushroom House. I'm not sure if the fairy part came across, I think it'll come across better once I do, oops, once I do some of the terrain and once I get in some of this other infrastructure, then it might look a bit more fairy village-y once I get some more stuff in. But yeah, that's all from me this week. I will see you next week with my next build. If you have any suggestions, any ways that you think this could be improved, any tips, like I said earlier, on OBS and sound settings, stuff like that, feel free to leave it in the comments. So yeah, before you go, just a couple things. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. This is my first ever video. I don't know if you noticed. So I'm still working out some kinks with sound, and I don't know how to record that well. This is the first time I'm doing anything by myself. I have been Flip, and this has been a Build a Week video, the first Build a Week video of May 2026. So if you enjoyed, leave a like, consider subscribing to help me out. You could be the first. See you next week. Bye!